Hey guys, welcome to the stream. Oh, just a second. Cool. Yeah, so I'm gonna retopologize the last parts of this guy, Damian, and I'm gonna talk a little bit while I'm doing it, and Peter's gonna be in the chat, so maybe some of the questions is for me and maybe some of them are for him. But feel free to ask any question you want in the chat. We'll do our best to answer them. Cool. Let's get cracking. So I did some sculpting in Mudbox and I took it into Maya to start retopologizing it. You can see these are way too high poly counts. So I'm gonna look into those and trying to get them like reduced. So you can see the other one, these parts are much more low. So that's what I'm aiming for, and we have like a limit to how many polygons we can use, because it's gonna be in a game, so you can't go crazy with all the polygons. Yeah, but I'm gonna hide a little bit of these. And then I'm also gonna do his props. He has a sword and a shield. It's gonna be really cool as well. Yes, I'm using my 2016. It has some nice tools for retopologizing. They came in the new update that they did, not this year but last year. So it was there in 2015 as well. So some of my overlays over here is hiding some of the stuff, but I'm using something called quad draw, and that's I have this high poly underneath that is live, which means that whenever I move a point it will snap to the surface. It's really nice. Finally Maya got some nice tools for retopologizing, because before they had like some tools but they wasn't really working that well. You can see this is the old one that I actually imported into Mudbox to sculpt on, and they are not quite fitting anymore. So just gonna move this out a little bit. I'm just gonna focus on one side, and then actually I could delete the other one for now. And we're not gonna get all the detail that we have in this high poly, but the idea is to get the general shape and get the overall silhouette, because then we can just add the rest in the texture. So small details you won't notice that's in the texture anyways. And I also have like the inside of this, so I think in some ways I can reduce the mesh as well, so I can get a lower resolution mesh, because right now I think it's about 8,000 in a poly count. Cool, but maybe I think I'm actually just gonna delete the inside of this right away because there's no need for it. There we go. So this is an isolated selection mode. It's really nice because it just shows the model that you have selected, and then everything else is hidden. And it's a bit easier sometimes to see the model and select the right faces. There we go. Cool. Okay, so I'm gonna make this live again. And then now the high-res mesh is live, and I can, when I move any of these points, they will automatically snap to the surface of the other mesh. Oh. And sometimes you can do funky stuff, but in general it works pretty well. I'm quite happy with the tool. So I think I'm gonna add, and you can also add loops really easy. So I just added a loop there. And of course you should be careful not to get too many polygons. This is some relax as well. It's quite nice because you have everything in one tool. And yeah, I want to hit this shape a bit better. Oh. So I don't know why this is like it's underneath this point. There we go. Yes, I'm just trying to get like a bit of thickness to it, and that's why I have this edge. But when they're not like attached to the mesh, it's a bit hard to snap them in the beginning. So you kind of need to like have the mesh underneath from the view before you can snap it to it. Oh. And then here it gets a bit complicated. There we go. So this might be a place where I need to add a bit more resolution. Let's see. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave this for now. It should be a point somewhere here. Yeah, okay. 2. Okay. Yeah, so I added 1 point on one of the sides, and I should keep it consistent. So I'm just adding one on the other side as well. Yeah. Then I'll try to make it follow the shapes that we have in the model as well. Okay. I'm just gonna look into, because we had these weird points that I wanted to fix. Hey guys, welcome to the stream. I can see that there's 7 people. That's awesome. So I'm just retopologizing this guy. These are really big shoulder blades. I think when I go on to rigging, I think I had to lower them a little bit so they're not that high, because maybe it's gonna look weird when they're this tall, or I have to figure something out to make them work. But I think I could also lower them a bit. That wouldn't hurt. And then I think they should rotate around his shoulder, so they would also be lowered in that way. Cool. Yes, I think this should be moved forward as well. Yeah, kind of like this. Cool. Yeah, so this is a little bit technical side of doing models. Kahupf 1988. Thank you, man. High five to you as well. Anthony Potson. Greetings. Okay, cool. It's nice to have you in here, man. It's also the best stream. I think he knows that you're watching. Oh. Cool. I don't know if I should have added an extra loop here, maybe not. I don't know. Oh. What? That's weird. I need to check this point if it's actually at the right spot. Yeah, it's underneath. So normally I would just draw all the polygons. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's coming along quite nicely. I mean, I'm a little bit behind with the rigging, but it's nothing I can't catch in on. Because I have some scripts that can do it quite fast, but there's some work to it, and I think I might do a new script to make it even easier, but it takes a little while to do it. And then we're just gonna get cracking on some textures. It's gonna be really nice to see those. I'm not gonna do them though. Maybe I'm gonna export some, like the ambient occlusion map and stuff like that. It's a bit technical as well. There's something that makes it look cool. You working on gamers as well? Hey, Polaris Games BC. Yeah, like Peter says, there's a lot of things that needs to fit together and work together in a proper way. So it's gonna be exciting to see when some of this stuff is starting to coming into the game and how it actually works in the environment and when you move around with a character. But I think it's gonna be pretty cool. I don't know if you know a bit about this retopologizing process. It makes sense, but if it's the first time you see it, it can look pretty weird. So this is like gonna be the focus point of the shoulders, this place. So it's important that it has a bit more detail and looks a bit more nice. So that's why I'm giving a little bit special attention to this. Also, you can see it has a very round shape on the top here. That's quite hard to get in a low poly model without having it too high in resolution. Cool. Cool. Wish I had more time to play games. Cool. Something about adding a loop more here, maybe. And then this can get a bit more up. I can always reduce a bit more if I get too much, but it's always like a balance to get the right amount of loops, I think. Because you don't want too much, it gets too heavy, but you still want enough to define the shapes. And then you can do some things with the normals as well to make it more clear what is a hard edge and what is a more soft edge. And then another thing is that when you're working in Maya, it crashes all the time, so you need to remember and save. So I'm gonna save in a moment. Cool, but this actually gives me some nice details, I think. I think this should go a bit more down. And then you can see I have this extra loop here now that I can use to get this. But it might be a bit too much, I don't know. Let's see how it goes. Because also something, all the parts need to kind of like play together, so if you have a lot of resolution in one place and not another place, it might not make sense. Cool. So I'm just gonna check it out. And yeah, so it gives me something weird, but that's because these they should be hard, like hard edges. Then give me something a bit more presentable. Was Star Wars Republic Commando, was that part of the Humble Bundle a little while ago? But I don't know, I didn't want to harden my edges. Let me try again. Weird Maya. But might also be. Let me check. Okay. I don't know. It's weird. There we go. I think it was something with the normals not turning the right way or something. But it might also be because I have this enabled, this live thing. There's a little bit of cleanup that I would like to do on this model, because it has like some parts not working right now. Oh, it might be locked normals. Yeah, there we go. This is the way it should look. It's just because I had some locked normals. Hey Asmussen05, welcome back. It's nice to see you again. Hmm. I like to have like a clean model because like have kind of equal sized faces and having them almost evenly across each other. It's just because first of course it's more clean, but it also makes it easier if I had to rig this. And it is going to be rigged, but this piece is not going to move that much, so for this piece it's not that important. But I still like to keep a nice flow in it, just because you never know when you need to do some changes or anything like that. There's no reason why it's also going to look better, I think. I need to put this on a layer. Yeah, so just put it on a different layer, so now I can't select it. Now I can only select the low poly model. If I want to select it, I have to find it out in the outline over here. I select it. I think I'm gonna make this live again. Yeah. So now you can see it has a different wireframe. It's just because I made the object live, so whenever I move these, it will snap to the surface. Cool. Let me go into this modeling again. I'm just relaxing it a little bit so it gets even spread vertices around the mesh. It's quite a nice feature that I use a lot. Okay, I want to check how many triangles. It's not a lot, it's 260 triangles right now. But I think you might gonna need some more inside of it, like the inner shell. Okay, I'm gonna make this live again, and then because there's these lines, and I think they should be more on this top part, because it's gonna give a bit of a better silhouette. And if they're not giving you anything in the model, you might as well leave them out. And then I can use the other one to give me the edge that's right next to it almost. But I can't use it up here. I'm sorry if I forget to look in the chat, I'm just really focused doing this work. It's almost like you get in a trance. Yeah. Maybe we could add it in the GUI in the stream. But welcome to all the new guys. We're 12 people now, that's awesome. Welcome to the stream. Peter's in the chat answering questions, and also if you have some question directed towards the art, I will answer those. I'm not a programmer, so I don't know much about all that stuff. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we have these crystals on this guy. You can see them on the stream in the Hyperly version. And I'm gonna try and add those as well. Crystals. Okay, yeah, so we'll kind of show the process of creating a new mesh, and it's really easy with this new tool. I just place 4 points, and then I hold shift and I can place a polygon. And then I can kind of like build a mesh on top of this Hyperly version. And I tried using Modbox to retopologize it, but it didn't really do a good job with it, so I had to redo it. And then I kind of want to see if I can get this in there. Because this is like, it's something that will cut, it will like cat sliding, and if we have maybe we're gonna have, I don't know, specular map, or maybe we want to add them later. It's nice to have these angles, because it's gonna look quite nice when the light is being catched, and also it might add a little bit to the silhouette. But these are quite simple, that's actually quite easy to retopologize. Like a face can be a bit more tricky because you want the loops the right places, and you can do this pretty rough, and you can always go in and then say, okay, we need a bit more detail in some areas, but in general, or you need less detail, I don't know. But it's quite easy. There's also a bot you could get for the chat. What is it called? and then the bot will say a message nightbot. So you can have a nightbot in the chat and it will repeat a message with a random interval, I think. But it's quite nice because you can also have polls in the stream and stuff like that. So I don't know, that could also be a possibility. No, a bot could never replace you. It's just for the automatic typing, and also it can kick people if they're too cocky. Cool, let's just check out this guy. Oh, that was a bit fast. So you can see it's already pretty simple and it's not that high of a poly count. Quite easy to do. Now I just need 7 more. No, the concept was made by a guy called Thomas, really talented concept artist. So I'm just doing the modeling, but it has some artistic things to it. Kind of like you're defining the shape and you, of course you have to stay true to the concept, but some things doesn't work in 3D. Yeah, UVs and retopologizing can be quite annoying, but sculpting is really fun. The fun part of it, but it's also can be challenging as well. But whenever you have like a program that kind of works for retopologizing, it's not that bad, I think. I don't mind sitting doing this a little bit, and you don't have to use your brain too much. That's the nice thing about it. You get a break. But I've also been doing this a lot, so I kind of have like, I have the basics of how to do it. Not the basics, I mean, it's kind of like a learning process. It can be really tough to learn, but once you get it, it's easier, a lot easier. And there's some techniques that you can use to make it a bit easier. For example, when you have like when you have a triangle, you can never get rid of the triangle unless you create a loop that goes out of the model, or it could be you can try to create a triangle more, and those 2 triangles could be created into a square, because you want to avoid triangles. Are okay in games, but it's way easier to work with squares. Or not, yeah. And when I'm doing this, I'm just thinking about the most important things to show in the model, and I wanted to have a bit of definition so I can kind of get an idea about what material it is and kind of how the model looks, because this could actually be really simple, and if the count gets too high I can just go in and then change the poly count a bit. Because this might be a bit too much detail, but let's see how it goes. Also, I could actually get rid of, when it's just a flat surface, I can get rid of a lot of stuff. Yeah, I really enjoy working with faces, because it's way easier to for me to visualize, and so I think it's easier to work with. I think some programs work with triangles. Okay, so this is a little bit weird, it's because I have this guy. So I think like that instead. Yeah, cool. Cool. Then just relaxing a little bit, so it gets a bit more even. See how this looks. Yeah, so it's like 100 triangles. That's not bad. This is Maya 2016. Oh, okay. I don't know, maybe Blender has a retopologizing tool as well. Could be. Probably has, because it has so many tools. But what I really like are these new modeling tools for Maya. I mean, some of them is quite useless, but this, you can't see it because of the overlay, but there's a thing called Quad Draw, and that's what I'm using right now. It's really nice to just do this retopologizing. Even, I think sometimes it's better to go even more simple, and then you can just add details in if you need them. But the good thing about these is they're not gonna deform, so it means I don't really need to care about how the edge loops are exactly. There we go. And I think they all need like some sort of lower part to them, but I'm gonna look into that afterwards. Oh, okay. Yeah, you could also use a standalone program, but I think 3D code could do something that's actually okay. And then there is, I think, Topogon, but I don't know the cost of it. I think it's a bit expensive. Let's see how I can make this work. Okay, let me just do like this, and then like this. Yes, cool. It's a little cheat. Cool, that was one side. Yeah, like Peter says, the game is in Unity. So I just want to check out these to see how they look by themselves. Cool. I think it's getting there. Yeah, so you can see they need some sort of ending to them. But I will just extrude down and then they go into the shoulder. Or I can even move the lower faces a little bit. So how much is this actually? It's like 250 triangles, so it's not that bad. And combined it's like 500 with the one side of the shoulder. Yeah, I was like, I really wanted to do something with Unity and be able to make my own games, but for me is the code thing is a bit too complicated, so I just went with Playmaker. But I think Playmaker is quite nice if you just want to do quick prototypes. And I think it can be used for bigger games as well. Like, no, not bigger games, but you know, like games that are oh, what happened? Oh, I fucked this up. Oh, sorry. Oh, cool, we're close to 60 followers. That's awesome. And we have 12 people in the stream, so welcome to all the new guys. So I needed to make these live again. That's why it didn't want to work. So let me try again. And yeah. So I was doing an environment on my own stream, and there was a guy, he was really like, because I was doing the same environment for a week or something, and it's not that uncommon. It takes a while to do that, but he was like really impressed about how long it took. And I was like, yeah, that's just the way it is. But I mean, it takes a really long time to make games, and it can be really tough. But that's also what makes it fun. Oh, this is not okay. It's okay. It's a medium one, medium stone or crystal. Okay. Oh, so yeah, I think that's it for this one. I'm just gonna keep moving and then check them all in the end, because that's gonna make the process a little bit faster. It's gonna be number 60. Just wanted to keep this part a bit simple, because there's no reason to have this thing I had before. Create this star, but I think it's okay because it's not gonna deform anyways. So as long as the model works, it's fine. But if this was like in the face, I'll probably see if I can change it. Okay. Yeah, so I have a problem here now because this gives me a triangle, so I'll need to delete this loop or add another loop. But I think we could add one here. and then take this a bit closer to the others. Oh, that's too much. Yeah, a bit like that. So I think this can work. Yeah, this could use, because this gets a bit stretched. Hey, Mr. Bullet. Hey, XOps DK. It's nice to see another Dane. Yeah. So this is the second last crystal. We need to make this one as well, but that's really easy. Cool. Let's do it right now. So I don't know if this makes much sense what I'm doing right now, but just let me know if you have questions. So you can just move the points and they snap automatically to each other, which is quite nice. That's also a feature of this new Maya.
står herude. Den kommode, der står herude på gangen. Er det et system, de har tænkt sig at have det med, at der står kommoder ude på gangen, eller er det en, I har stillet, fordi I vil af med den?
Jeg kender ikke noget til.
Ja, den er reol.
Ja, okay.
Står lige her.
Ja.
spørger lige ind på kontoret, om det er noget, de har tænkt, der skal stå nogle materialer fremme, eller nogle figurer, eller noget for at pynte op. Så
Ja, det kunne være.
det kunne jo være.
Oh, I forgot to
Ellers vil jeg nemlig
merge these.
Ja.
Okay.
Nice, we got 60 followers. I'm wondering how much detail I'm gonna need on this piece. But I think actually this could do it. I just need like the sides like this. Oh yeah, that was okay. Yes. Cool. Oh, I forgot this side. I thought I did that. Cool. And then I need to do like this. Okay, so I think in some cases I want this to have a bit more like definition and at some spots. Too much, but for now just keep it. Cool. So now I have the shoulder plates and the crystals. I think I need to duplicate this. Yes, I just duplicated it to the other side. Let me check. Because these are the low poly pieces. Except this one. Here I have 8,500 right now triangles. I still need the legs and his shield and his sword. Alright. So what I need now is I'm gonna continue with the pants. Let me show you, these are the pants and these are some armors on the knees. And I think I'm probably gonna do this as a separate. Yeah, I'm not sure if this should be separate, these kneecaps, or they should be integrated into the other one, but I think maybe I'm gonna separate them because they're gonna act a bit differently. They shouldn't deform, and they're gonna be on the outside of the knee, so it should be just one shape. But the things around it should deform, like these are some kind of leather, and they should deform when the knee bends. And then we have belt buckle, these two, and some extra armor. Cool. And this, you're not seeing it right now, it's hidden underneath the shoulder plates, but when he takes his arms down, he's gonna have something, and you're gonna see them. So that's why they're a little bit important. But I'm just gonna start with the bigger pieces, and these are pretty important. And I'll add. It's the same thing for these. I'm thinking maybe not having them as one object. I mean, everything is gonna be combined in the end, but just have them separate so I can skin them to a separate joint or something. Maybe this shouldn't, but let's see. Cool. So actually I will hide these again and then add these to this layer and make them live. So now I can kind of sculpt on them, and I'm gonna hide these as well to make it a bit easier. Cool. And quad draw. So I want to loop around. Now on this thing I need to consider how it's going to deform, because they're definitely going to deform in some way. So I'm going to make a loop around the hips, and that is going to give us some nice deformation once we get into rigging. That's the plan, at least. But it should, I mean, I've been doing this quite a lot of times, so I'm positive it's gonna work. Cool, and then I'm probably gonna add a bit more of definition up here at some point, but for now I'm just gonna plug in the basic leg. Oh. Cool. Oh yeah, then we have this armor piece. I want to have some kind of definition to show it, just a little bit. That might, let's see if it's possible. So I don't know why I can't select this one. It's annoying. This is also causing trouble. I will look into it later. Yeah, good choice. So you can see, to get the right shape, it's nice to have an extra loop up here. And then I think this is gonna work. Yes, this is line is gonna run, I think, here, just to enhance this lower part, and it's probably also gonna be the one deforming. So that's a good way to do it, I think. And then this should go up a bit like this. I think it's very relaxing sometimes to do retopologizing. As long as it is working. When it doesn't work, it's no fun. Okay, I need to check out what's going on with the model. Yeah, I think it's just it flipped the polygon or something. So that's why it was a bit weird. Let me see if I can use this bridge tool. There we go. That was working surprisingly well. This part is a little bit. Oh, come on. Oh yeah, it's because I forgot to make it live. There we go. This is a little bit tricky, this part. So I think I actually is gonna need an extra loop here, and I think it's gonna be fine because I need it for deformation anyways. Cool. Oh. Oh yeah, that's not a loop anymore. So I think I need to do it in a different way. I think we need to do, yeah, just, I think we have something like this. It's never rude to ask. I mean, I don't mind looking at stuff. I think it's up to Peter if we can do it. Yeah, so I think maybe are you gonna stay a bit, because then we could do it later. I don't think it's a problem if we can do it a bit later, maybe, because then I'll know better if I have time. But I can do it after the stream, maybe, or if we have time later during the stream. When are you gonna leave? Otherwise, you can send me an email. Because I would love to look at it and give you some feedback. I just went to the school that I went to called the Animation Workshop. I just went there and gave feedback on some of the people who applied for the school. There was some of them who didn't get in, and it was like they were really good, and the competition this year was crazy. Yeah, so yeah, I posted the email. let's see how this is gonna work. Yeah. Cool. So I think this is beginning to take shape. It's a bit rough in the model, in the sculpt down here. So I might need to change a little bit. Yeah, so somehow I need more loops here, but I have an idea about how we can add those. So I need to check out the model. Okay. Okay, so I don't know, can I actually, yeah, okay, I can do that. So I just wanted to relax this a bit too close to each other. Sorry guys. Okay, so I just need this inner part as well. Oh, that's too close. Yes. The thing is that if you have 3 loops, you would have enough. So you can see I have 3 loops here, and maybe I'll put them a bit more close together. Yeah, so 3 loops is generally enough, and it also depends a bit, because if the knee is going to twist in a direction, you need a bit more loops. But I will definitely say that 3 should be enough. Okay. It's nice. Dennis is the best name. Yeah, so that's also why I try to have 3 loops around the heel as well, and all the places where it needs to deform. I think that's a question for Peter. Kark Hoft is asking if we're gonna have an AI system. Cool. So I think this is starting to work pretty well. It's still not that bad of a poly count. It's about 450 polygons. Let me just duplicate it. So just wanted to have both in there, so I know how many triangles it has. But I still need these knee armor. So this is gonna be next project. Let's just get it started. I think I'm gonna aim for 15,000. But if I can get lower, it would be even nicer. And I think it's just a matter about, I think I can get it quite low, but I also want it to look quite nice. So there's always a balance, but there's a lot of yeah. So there's a lot of places I can reduce the polygons in the face, because underneath the hair he's bald, and we don't need all the polygons. But a lot of these can be reduced as well. Yeah. So like Peter said, somewhere between 10,000 and 20. This might be too much. Yeah, let's see how it goes.